Active Life has earned the trust from me because they've proven results. They've proven in my whole lifestyle of how I feel. I'm in the best shape that I've ever been in at the age of 57. I know more about my anatomy. I know more about limitations. I know more about what exercise does for you. And that's invaluable. My name is Beth. I've been going to Active Life for 2.5 years. My Active Life journey began after I tore my meniscus and had knee surgery and finished physical therapy and realized that I was in no shape to resume regular life. Physical therapy stops when you could resume activities of daily living and insurance stops paying, but that doesn't mean you can walk up and down the stairs without your knee hurting. That doesn't mean you could walk a mile or take a jog or effectively do a squat. And I knew that that wasn't enough. I knew that I needed to do some strength training in order to get back to being able to function.
Before she went to Active Life, she would complain she can't bend down to do this, she can't do yoga, she can't walk a certain way, she can't use certain shoes, certain sneakers. You know, like when I bitch and moan and complain about stuff and she has the answer, she would bitch and moan and complain. I didn't have the answer, so I just sort of said, well, what are you gonna do about it? Then she did something about it.
I found so much more at Active Life than just fixing my knee problem. I found a path to longevity and a path to being healthier and having a health span that was so much more than a knee problem. It was definitely a slow process. We started with easier exercises. Literally my step-ups were to 3 inches. I was stepping up 3 inches, and then 3 inches became 6 inches, and eventually 12 inches, and so on and so forth, and added weights. And slowly over time, I forgot that I had a knee issue.
I'm really impressed with Beth because she's never worked out like this and she's never been committed to this. Over the course of her Active Life tenure, she really took constitution of what her body is about. She explored, you know, what makes her tick, what chemicals and foods are good and bad for her, what moving parts need to be worked on. And she dropped 25 pounds without wanting to lose weight because she behaved in a certain way that in her mind and probably in reality will guarantee her a better adult life.
I didn't ever set out to lose 20 pounds. That wasn't my goal. When I started Active Life, if I could go back to that first discovery call and the first session that I had, my weight was never an issue. I never used to get on the scale. I never considered if my pants were too tight. It was not an issue for me. It was all about fixing my knee, being stronger, having my body function properly. And then Active Life, as they do, handed me a book one day because they give gifts and they appreciate you and they listen to you when you talk. And it was a book called Outlive by Dr. Peter Attia. And the book attested to health span and lifespan. I went down the path of having a DEXA scan, seeing what my BMI was, what my weight was, and I was shocked to see that I had gained so much weight over the years. Probably started from during COVID time. Had no idea. I went to my Active Life professional who said, well, do you want to do something about that? If you do, we have the resources to help you. And I went down that path. A person in their 50s definitely can lose weight. And I would have been the person who said to you beforehand, I can't lose weight. You hit menopause, you can't lose weight. You're in your 50s, you can't lose weight. But I proved that theory wrong. I've been in Ascend for almost 2 years. I'm never stopping. There's numerous reasons why I keep going to Ascend versus working out at home. Although I do work out at home 1 day a week. One, there's a group energy. When you work out with other people, there's familiar faces, everybody's working, everyone's doing their own thing, but there's a group energy that you feed off of. 2, there's always a professional on the floor. So even though you know your exercise, even though you've been doing squats for 2 years, there's always something to tweak, there's always something to get better. And there's somebody taking a look and tweaking your exercise and helping you improve on it. So that's invaluable. Even when I work out at home, I send videos. They look at the videos of what I do at home and they tweak that as well. I look at it as you're not paying for a gym, you're not paying for the exercise equipment, you're not paying for the facility, you're paying for the care, skill, and judgment of the people at Active Life. They have the education They're educating me. They have the skill set. I'm paying for a service, not a commodity, and there's nobody I trust more. I used to say when I started that I dreaded going and doing strength training. I'm a yogi by heart, and I find my happy place when I'm doing yoga. And now I actually secretly like weight training. I do, I like strength training, and I'm segueing into other areas. I've started taking Pilates classes, and I take long walks now, jog a little bit. So things that I never used to do, I'm starting to enjoy. I talk about active life all the time to people, and I say it's a commitment, it's a financial commitment, but there's nothing more important than your body. If you want to go buy an expensive car or take a fancy vacation, but you can't walk and you're complaining that you're sedentary, what is the point? So to me, the biggest investment you can make is in yourself. You want to live longer, you want to live better, and that's what it's all about.